AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
There is no guarantee that OG Anunoby will re-sign with the New York Knicks, and he is expected to consider offers from other teams, as per Jake Fisher. I really don't like you, Jake. While league personnel are of the mind Siakam will certainly be re-signing with Indiana, there was word circling among team officials at last week's NBA draft combine that Anunoby's situation with the Knicks is not as cut and dried. Various teams left Chicago with the belief that Anunoby could reach unrestricted free agency and consider deals from other franchises in addition to New York, sources said. And there's an article there from Jake Fisher, but I'm not going to go through all that because I think that was the gist of it. Big Flea.
What up?
Hold on. Let me get to this one real quick then. While you share that. You know what? You respond to that article.
Well, I look at it like this. As these playoffs conclude, right? There's just going to be more. There's just going to be more and more conversations, right? You got to have conversations. You got to have things to talk about, right? Everybody's going to be producing and doing what they do. You feel me? You feel me? SF Wisdom. You feel me, big dog? We'll talk offline. Anyway.
Hold on. But do you still do not? We in New York, baby. Come sorry.
On, baby.
OG
no, there's just going to be a lot of conversations, right? As a Knicks fan, as a diehard OG Anunoby guy, Leon Rose's son is his agent. So I'm in full confidence that Leon will drape him by the back of his neck. Get the deal done. Get the fucking deal done. Stop playing with me. La Costa Nostra. Let's get it done. So I ain't really too concerned. Somebody's going, somebody says something at the draft combine in the corner by the water cooler, and it just started flying around, and now people have something to talk about. Is this a way for OG to run the price up? Possibly. I would think if he's a smart dude, which I believe he is, he would look at what his point guard is doing right now. And not saying that, like, I want Brunson to possibly leave money on the table, but the precedence that he's setting right now is that I'm putting the team before myself. And so this core is the core that I want to go forward with. I would hope that this core, which not even hope, I'm watching them the whole season. They love to play with each other. Like they love to play on the same team. So I think it's just stuff to put out there, and because Knicks basketball, like physical basketball, is not out there. So now, we're in the summertime where conversation is going to be surrounded around the draft coming up. It'll be surrounded around what do we do to upgrade the roster. It'll be surrounded around guys that are free agents, that are guys that are not locked in. So after the OG, news kind of dies down, and that is a commodity that other teams will want to have, Isaiah Hartenstein's, name is going to start floating around, right? Because he's going to get offers from other teams. Other teams would die to have a guy like him, right? So I think that the OG deal gets done, 1,000% gets done. But I am very skeptical on what happens with iHeart. I fully believe somebody's out there that's going to offer him $20 to $25 million a year, and we might not want to pay that. I think our number is around 16, 17, 18 for him. I think that we probably could offer him the longer deal, right? Wherever he goes, he might get a 4-year deal, maybe get a 3-year deal.
No, maybe longer term, but I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, talk to me.
The fact that we're over the salary cap, we can give them, I think, we lost early Larry Bird rights. So the full Larry Bird rights is when you're not over the salary cap. So when you're not over the salary cap, you can offer more money. So Philly can technically offer more money to Hartenstein.
Right.
They're not over.
And that's what I was essentially saying. other teams are going to run the price up on him too. Now he's a guy that's, go get paid, man. Go get paid. I cannot be mad if we look up in October and Hartenstein is a Orlando Magic or he's a Oklahoma City Thunder, right? There's teams that need a backup big that could potentially be a starter. So fully expect the OG deal to get done. I'm not worried about that in the least bit.
Real quick, there's another Knicks reporter, Fred Katz. He was on Knicks Fan TV. Shout out to them. Shout out to all the Knicks content creators because you guys make it easy. It's just click Knicks and then you give us the latest. And I love it. So this is what Fred Katz, who always reports on the Knicks, a little iffy about him. I think people feed this guy information. He is from the Athletic, like it says here to the right. He was on Knicks Fan TV, and this is what he said about the OG Anunoby signing.
I think we're going to look at the contract and be like, all right, that is a lot of money. I think the Knicks are the overwhelming favorites to bring him back. That is something where I would be shocked if he were not back. You make that trade because you know you will do whatever it takes to keep OG Anunoby. I think he's going to get paid. I think we're going to look at the contract and be like, all right, that is a lot of money. There are just very few players in the NBA who can start on 1 through 5 and can hit threes and give 15-ish points. There are just like unbelievably few players in the NBA who fit this description. You can count them on one hand, and those guys get paid.
Now, here's the thing. Here comes the expectations. Because the Knicks fan is going to say, we're paying this guy 30-something million, and he's not on the court. How does he navigate that next year?
In terms of fan reaction, if he plays 45 games in the regular season, but he's healthy come playoff time, and the Knicks make a crazy run because they're so good when he plays, no one's going to care. He's a 16-game player. He's not an 82-game player. If he's healthy, that's your dude. I think
Oh, he basically said what I say. I don't think we care if you play 0 games in the regular season as long as you're ready for the playoffs.
No, we don't make the playoffs without him. We don't see a successful Knicks team during the season without him. Do we not remember when we made that trade what we looked like? Complete night and day. Our defense was suffering the first half of this season before we made that trade. So, especially for a Tips team, bro, we were suffering as a defense. As soon as we made that deal, he turned us upside down. So, Knicks fans got to calm down. There's about to be an influx of more money coming in with these new TV deals. So,
oh my God.
Please, we got to temper we're paying him $30 million and he can't. $30 million is about to start feeling like $15 million per to these guys. The type of contract that Luka Doncic could get after making All-NBA, first team All-NBA is the biggest contract in NBA history. He's eligible for it now.
I think it was $345 for 5 years, so around $70 million. I saw one report that said it can go up to $95 million a year.
Go up to $95 million a year. Like, that's insane money. What are they making per game now? What would they be making per game? What's my game check look like? So, yeah, I can't see us not signing OG after trading away 2 pieces, whether you like them or not. IQ and RJ were guys that played for us, right? Were guys that have been part of this journey to where we are right now. So if you move them and you go get OG, you have to marry him. You have to marry him. You can't rent him for a playoff run or a run, make it to game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, get bumped, he gets hurt in game 5, and not think about re-signing this dude. I just don't think that makes sense. And you're not – everything Fred Katz said is right. You're not going to find another dude that's going to hit threes, average over 15 points a game, and be able to stop the best player on the other team. Go find him. How many?
This the epitome of a 3-and-D guy.
Today's 3-and-D guy. Yeah.
We entertained. I think we saw one trade offer for I think Julius Randle for Mikal Bridges and Dorius Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith is considered a 3-and-D guy, but he's not this. I mean, he's a 2 guard. He can guard 1 through 3.
But Dodo could guard though.
Well, that's
Dodo guards.
right,
He
but
guards.
right, but he can't shoot like this.
Right.
Like OG has.
Right.
He hasn't. That's what keeps him off the floor, and that's why he's not this extra level. But
I would love to have him though. Don't get me wrong.
I don't know who's a better 3-and-D guy. Maybe Mikal Bridges, because Mikal Bridges is doing more now since he left Phoenix.
Mikal Bridges is not a 3-and-D game. Mikal Bridges almost averaged 20 points a game this past season. So he gets his in a variety of ways. 3-and-D guys, like Kat said, you could almost at one point there were a bunch. Now it's very few and far between that you can get somebody in that mold, because everybody can shoot threes now, but everybody can't defend the way the way some of these guys do. Alex Caruso kind of guy. Again, he might not be the shooter that OG is, but definitely, a modern day mold of a 3-and-D guy. Alex Caruso made all NBA defensive teams back-to-back years. Big shout out to AC.
That's amazing.
Big shout out to AC. He's made those teams in back-to-back seasons on a bad Chicago team.
AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.